Christy here. Welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here, welcome. For today's video, I'm going to be taking you along with me for a day in my life. It's a very special day. Today is the day that I'm going to get braces put on my teeth. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't nervous. I'm pretty nervous about it, but I know that overall it's going to be a great thing for me, so I thought it would be best to kick off the vlog now before the braces are on, because I have no idea how I'm going to sound or look once I've got a metal mouth. I believe the plan, we're going for a consultation and to get the braces put on, so I imagine it's going to be a relatively long appointment. I believe the plan is to do top braces first. The main reason I'm getting the braces is because I still have a couple of baby teeth and I've got some impacted canines, which hopefully we are going to use braces and oral surgery to help bring those canines down. So the plan someday down the line is to pull the baby teeth and have oral surgery to expose the impacted canines, add little chains to the teeth, and connect them to the braces to pull everything down. And in the end, provided that my teeth actually move and do what we hope they will do, I will have, no more baby teeth, and I will be able to, retain the impacted canines and use them in my day-to-day life. That's a long process, though. It's going to be a couple of years before we are done. In fact, he said it could be as long as 3 years. And that's if the impacted canines actually move. Being that I am 40 years old, there's a possibility that they won't move. And at that point in time, we will address that and decide where to go from there. But the first step is braces to make room for those teeth. So we're going today to do that at 2 o'clock. It is noon right now. I just got out of the shower. I'm getting myself ready. And I thought, you know what? I better kick off this vlog now, because I may very well be in pain later. I may be talking with a lisp or whatever. So be on the lookout for that footage. That'll be fun. But right now, I'm just getting myself ready, kind of trying to ease into the day. Like I said, I'm very nervous, but anytime that there's a situation where I don't know what to expect or I'm unfamiliar with things, I get really anxious. I went down a little bit of a rabbit hole on Reddit the other day, reading people's posts about, adult braces and this whole process of exposing my canines and pulling them down and all of that. And it both gave me some confidence in knowing what to expect, and it also gave me a bunch of new fears that I unlocked. That is the problem with that sort of thing. Usually I try to avoid it, but knowing what to expect going into something helps to alleviate my anxiety. So I had good intentions when I started reading posts, but I should not have done that, because I freaked myself out a little bit viewing people's pictures and stuff, especially with the exposure surgery and all of that. Like, eek. Luckily that is still a ways down the line. Today is just early steps of getting the braces put on. So I figure if a 12 or 14-year-old can do it, I can do it, right? I have heard that it's more painful for adults, but I can handle it. So yeah, I'm just gonna take you guys along for the process. This probably will be a pretty short vlog. If I know myself, I'm probably going to struggle a little bit going into the dentist and then, or the orthodontist, and then, afterwards. So I'll just share what I can, but I'm nervous, but I'm also excited, and here we go. Okay, welcome to my closet. I thought we would chit chat a little bit while I go ahead and put away some laundry. Thinking about what I want to wear today to the dentist while I'm in here kind of hanging things. All of my hangers are a little cattywampus here, but I definitely know that I want to be comfortable. I don't want to, be sitting in the orthodontist chair, like, very aware that my jeans are too tight or whatever, which reminds me, I owe you guys a little bit of a weight loss update too, so remind me to get to that. But yeah, I definitely know I want to be comfortable, so I'm thinking sweatpants and just a t-shirt. It is absolutely gorgeous outside. I just opened up all the windows in the house. We still do not have air conditioning in my house, which is another thing we could talk about. We've been waiting forever for a part that they need to install our central air unit that's been back ordered. So we haven't had air in the house this whole time. Luckily, there have only been a handful of days since we moved in that were unbearably hot. Like, it got up to 90 degrees in my house, unbearably hot. The rest of the time it's been relatively mild, usually like 75 or so in my house, which is totally bearable. But today especially, it's beautiful, it's breezy, the sun's out. Honestly, I wish I were doing something outside instead of being stuck at the orthodontist for part of the day, but it is what it is. Regardless, I want to make sure that I'm comfortable for the weather and for the occasion, so I'll show you guys what I come up with in terms of my outfit. Also debating on whether or not I want to put on makeup. A big part of me says no, absolutely not. It's probably not a good idea. Who knows how I'm going to feel later, if I'm going to feel like taking off a bunch of makeup, plus like, I don't know, just like makeup on my face. Not the most comfortable. However, do you guys remember in the last vlog when I talked about wanting to start a gua sha routine, and I showed the little gua sha stone that I bought and the rose hip oil that I bought to use with it? It's got to be the rose hip oil that's doing it. I have so many breakouts along this part of my face where I've been doing the gua sha thing. They're really, really bad. Between the breakouts on my face and the braces, I really am going to feel like I'm 14 again. But I would like to cover that up because I'm a little self-conscious about it. But at the same time, I think it's best to avoid the makeup thing, right? I don't know. It's too late for you to weigh in. I'll already be there and home by the time this video goes up. But I'm thinking no makeup, even though my skin looks atrocious right now. I have pretty normal skin, I would say. Well, normal to dry. It's dry for sure. I get little flakes and stuff sometimes, but I don't usually get a ton of breakouts, with the exception of just like a hormonal breakout here and there. My skin is pretty clear, so I never really had to deal with insecurities about that in terms of my skin. Now, the sunspots and the wrinkles, that's another story. I could do a whole separate video on insecurities at 40 because I have a lot of them, but I've never really had to deal with breakouts a lot in my life, so this is new for me and I don't like it. So I'm going to discontinue that oil. I thought I was being really thorough about making sure that I washed all the oil off when I was done with it, but clearly something, either my skin doesn't like that. I mean, I guess it could be the stone that's causing the breakouts, but it's like stainless steel, so I would think not. So I don't know. I have really been enjoying the routine of doing it every day as part of like self-care, skincare, but I can't handle the breakouts. They're all in here and even like back behind my ears where I've been like, oof, it's not good. So anyways, I'm just rambling at this point, so I'm gonna go ahead and figure out what I'm gonna wear, and I'll show you guys my outfit, and then it'll really be time to go. I need to have a meal before I take off, and I have to decide what I want my sort of last meal to be. I had a steak last night because I knew that I was not in the foreseeable future going to be chewing steak and getting it stuck in my braces and stuff, so I had that. But I know I'm probably going to be sore for a couple of days, not want to chew a lot of things, so it's going to be like soft foods for a few days, so I need to figure out my last meal, you know? So I'll let you guys know what that is too. So here is the outfit I came up with. It's definitely nothing groundbreaking. Don't mind my mess here. I've got my nail polish that still needs to go up into my nail polish rack, but my husband hasn't hung that yet. Still trying to figure out where I want it. My lap desk, that sort of thing. Closet's a bit messy, but this is the outfit. So I wanted to be comfortable. I put on these wide leg sweatpants that I got from Walmart recently. They're from the brand Terra and Sky. They look a little short here. When I first tried them on, they were perfect. Once I washed them, they shrunk up just a little bit. Now they look a little tiny bit too short. That happens to me all the time. I'm 5'7", and it's just like right on the cusp between needing a regular length or a tall length, so whatever. And then I just have this t-shirt from Market and Spruce, I think, from Stitch Fix. So I will be super comfortable. I got a comment on my last video where I was talking about needing to lose weight, and I posted like my weigh-in. Somebody said, you don't look like you weigh, you know, 295 pounds. Yeah, I do. You guys just don't see me full-bodied very often. Usually you're just looking at this part of me. I don't carry as much weight in my face, but especially my upper body, yeah, you guys, I look almost 300 pounds because I am, but I am less than I was the last time I checked in with you guys. So let me turn the camera around and talk to you about how the weight loss journey is going. Okay, so when I last checked in with you guys, I told you I was going to be starting my weight loss journey for the 800th time. And for the last couple of weeks, I've been tracking my calories and trying to eat in a deficit. The deficit is pretty small. I'm not trying to drop down to 1,200 calories in a day because I know from experience that's not something I can sustain forever. In the past, when I have done drastic calorie deficits, it doesn't work long term for me. I lose a ton of weight super fast, but then I binge because I'm, you know, ridiculously hungry. So I'm just trying to keep for a minimal deficit right now, eating around about 1,800 calories a day. And I've lost like 5 pounds. The exact weight I will pop up here on the screen so you guys can see, you know, where I started, where I am now. Slow and steady, but that's what's going to be maintainable for me. I already know this. I've learned this from my past of like crash dieting, binge eating, all the things. So, you know, it's coming along. I'm feeling good about it. I know I'm going to need to eat soft foods for the next couple of days. My teeth are probably going to be sore, so I'm not going to be eating as much. But as soon as I'm like healed from that and feeling better, I'm definitely going to stick with my, you know, higher calorie count. It's not the highest calorie count ever, but like I said, I'm not trying to eat 1,200 calories a day. It's just not sustainable. So, yeah, slow and steady. It's not going to make for very interesting updates. I thought about doing like I've done in the past, like a weigh-in once a week video. I don't think that's necessary. This is not going to be super entertaining to watch. Sorry, you guys, I had to turn on my ceiling fan. I was like sweating. It's not even that hot in here. It's 69 degrees according to my thermostat, but for whatever reason, I was like sweating. My face was getting all red. Anyways, that is the weight loss update. A little bit of a weight loss, very, very slow. If I were to stick with this calorie deficit, it'd probably take me like 3 years to lose all the weight I want to lose, but that's okay because this is a lifelong thing, right? I'm not trying to get skinny for summer. You know, it's like, it's going to be a lifelong process. So that's the update. Now I'm just waiting on my husband to get here to pick me up. He is going with me to my orthodontist appointment. I need my emotional support husband to go to these things with me, especially when I'm feeling anxious. The fact that we own our own business and we can be flexible with our hours and he can come to things like this with me is just amazing. I'm so grateful for that. So he's gonna come and hold my hand while I get these braces put on. I definitely want to talk to you guys all about the financial process with these braces. I've kind of held off doing a debt update where I like reveal how much debt we're in and talking about my budget, both because we're still kind of getting fully settled into our home. There's been bits and bobs here we've had to purchase for the home, and so I don't want to give you guys a debt total and then have to use the credit card and drive it up even more. So I'm kind of waiting for everything to be settled, but also I wanted to wait until I had the braces on so I would know the cost and how that would affect the budget. So I promise you guys a budget video talking all about all of the things is coming. Just try to be patient with me. I keep saying it'll be next month I'll start, and then the next month comes and I don't. And it's not because I don't want to share with you, it's just things are all still up in the air, but definitely promise at some point all of the financial details, how much credit card debt we have, what the braces cost, and all of that will be coming. So, all right, you guys, well, I totally failed at vlogging, but look, braces are on, and you guys, I think they actually look really cute. So, yay for that. I was never really concerned about the aesthetics of everything anyway. I was more concerned about pain and just the long process, the oral hygiene, which I'm about to start getting ready for bed, so I need to do all of the things with my teeth. The orthodontist gave me a little care kit, so I'll show everything to you there. I sound a little crazy, got a little bit of a lisp, but here we go. There's my braces. I just got silver ties put on, so they look very, you know, all one color. Cute little metal mouth. He put the little springs across my baby teeth. There's no brackets on my baby teeth. He didn't want to put any pressure on those. So, yeah, pretty excited about it. No pain so far, though I know it's coming. I'm dreading waking up in the morning because I'm sure it's going to be very sore. But I just came home from the orthodontist. Spent the rest of the day playing Breath of the Wild on my new Switch 2, which I'm very excited about. And just kind of relaxing. Had mac and cheese for dinner from Panera, which was interesting, trying to chew just because it feels weird having all this extra stuff in my mouth. I know that I'm gonna get used to the feeling of having all of this in my mouth. Right now it feels really foreign. Feeling all the brackets against my lips and stuff, but I'm gonna go ahead and pull out all of the goodies that the orthodontist gave me. So I got a new toothbrush, a rechargeable electric toothbrush. So I need to get that charging. Also a couple of different kinds of toothpaste. This is the Crest Pro Health Gum Detoxify Fluoride Toothpaste. And this one is just Gum and Enamel Restore toothpaste. There's a extra head for my toothbrush. There's a handful of these little interdental brushes, which will come in handy, especially when we're on the go. These are little platypus flossers that are made to go under the wire. Handful of those, and then some super floss. So yeah, I'm gonna go start my bedtime routine, which is gonna be much lengthier with all the extra work it takes to floss under my wires and stuff, but definitely want to take really good care of my teeth, especially now that I'm paying so much money to get them all straight and perfect. So I was gonna end the vlog here, but actually I think what I'm gonna do is pick up the vlog tomorrow, let you guys know if I'm super sore or how I'm feeling. It's just the top teeth right now. The bottom teeth will come later. I think that's very beneficial to me to not have the pain of both at the same time. But I will definitely keep you guys updated on the pain situation. Right now, I'm going to bed. Okay, so checking in, it's the next day. It is about 3:30, so we are pretty much at 24 hours since the braces went on. And I'm thrilled because I'm not having any pain to speak of. Tiny little bit of soreness, not even really. The wire, these little springs here, are rubbing on my lip, not creating any sort of cuts or sores or anything. It's just annoying more than anything. But I haven't really had any pain. Slept really great last night. I've been able to get a ton of stuff around the house done today, and I am thrilled. So I know that they start you out with a really, really thin wire, right? And as you go for adjustments and things, the wire gets thicker and then the pressure is heavier. So I'm probably not going to get out of this whole process pain-free. And obviously I have a lot of dental work, oral surgery, and everything to look forward to in the future. So definitely going to have a lot of pain, but I'm thrilled that I have not had much to speak of. I've been able to eat just fine. I've still been sticking to soft foods because, like, why risk causing myself pain? So I've been eating a lot of mac and cheese and drinking a lot of water, trying to avoid sodas and sugary drinks as much as possible. I figure this is a good time to try to cut back on that sort of thing. Something I needed to do anyway. I, mainline Diet Coke, well, Coke Zero on a regular basis. So figure might as well use this whole braces thing as an excuse to try to cut back on that. Definitely not like snacking or anything in between meals because it's such a pain to have to go through the process of cleaning out these guys. Flossing last night took me a solid 25 minutes. I started out trying to use the little platypus picks to get up behind the wire, and there's not enough space. So just using like super floss and threading the floss back behind the wire and going through each tooth, it was exhausting. A lot of work. Cleaning these guys is a lot of work, and so I definitely think it's going to help me lose a little bit of weight, if nothing else, just because I'm going to cut out snacks to avoid having to deal with cleaning the teeth in between. But other than that, feeling pretty good. No, I'm not out of the woods yet. I may still have some soreness over the next couple of days. We'll see, but it was a pretty painless experience overall. Getting the braces on, by the way, I don't know if I mentioned, was a snap. It took them like 30 minutes, if that, to get them all put on. There was no pain or anything with that. Just a little bit of pressure when they were popping the wire into the brackets, but other than that, super easy peasy. The most painful part was handing over my credit card to pay the initial payment of $700 some odd. I am, like I mentioned, going to do a whole separate video on what these braces are going to cost. And then there's still oral surgery in the future that I'll have to pay for as well. So it's going to be an expensive process, a long process. He did reiterate yesterday before we put the braces on that it was probably going to be 3 years minimum before I get to take these guys off, but it's all going to be worth it. I feel really good. I think they're super cute, actually, and other than just these springs rubbing on my lip and driving me crazy, I know I'll get used to that. Everything's hunky-dory. So thank you so much for watching this video. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you want lots of braces updates, because I tend to make this sort of thing my whole personality. Is probably all I'll be talking about for months. So definitely subscribe if you're interested, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!